to the subject traffic management and accident investigation. For this video, this is the continuation of the fundamentals of traffic management. And particularly, the subject for this lecture is on the application of traffic management, or where do we usually apply the principles of traffic management. Again, your lecturer is Darlito Bernard Gidrizo, welcoming you back. As usual, before we will move on to the subject matter, let's take a look on the wisdom coming from the Word of God. So, as I've said, ang buhay natin ito ay para tayong naglalakbay. So, ano ba yung traffic of life natin? Yung ating traveling ng ating buhay. Well, unang-una, lahat tayo ay minamaniho natin ang ating sariling buhay. Okay, we are the driver at ang ating buhay, yun ang ating sasakyan. So kung saan natin dadalhin ang ating buhay, tayo ang magdadala noon, hindi ibang tao, kundi tayo mismo ang magdadala noon. Maari na some people may guide us, some people may advise us, or some people may continue to push our back, but eventually tayo pa rin ang nagmamaneho ng ating buhay. So ang ating daanan ay yung ating pananampalataya. Yun ang pwedeng magdadala natin sa heaven. So faith is the highway to heaven. And our heart is the driver ng ating puso, yung ating isipan, okay? And mind is the engine. Ito yung gumagana, yung utak natin. Iniisip natin kung anong ating gagawin at itong ating puso nagsasabi kung susundin natin yung ating mga iniisip at mga pinaplano natin saan tayo patungo. At of course, yung ating gawa ay siya ang magiging gulong ng ating buhay. And eventually, yung ating kaluluwa, siya yung ating vehicle. Okay, or the life itself, yung ating pinakabuhay, yung ating soul, or yung ating espiritu, or yung ating kaluluwa. Of course, sa Bible, sabi nila ang kaluluwa at espiritu ay magkaparehas. But there are some also nagsabi ng espiritu at ang kaluluwa ay magkaiba. Okay, so that will be a deeper discussion. So whether you agree that the soul or the spirit are same or not, then as long as yung ating soul, yung ating kaluluwa, yung ating espiritu ang siyang pinaka motor vehicle natin. And of course, as we move on sa ating buhay, just like sa ating pagdadrive sa physical, ano man ang ating dinadrive, bisikleta man ito, motorsiklo man to, scooter man to, or four wheels man to, kaya kailangan nating mag-ingat palagi. And of course, as we move on, we have to follow the signal. May mga signal, ano? Ang ating Diyos nagbibigay na pag magandang ating ginagawa, sasabihin niya, go. So parang green. Kapag nakikita ng ating Panginoon na medyo lumilis tayo ng landas, sasabihin niya, slow down. Okay? Ops, dahan-dahan ka, iba na yata yung pinupuntahan mo. And basically, kapag nakita ng Lord na tayo ay iba ng ating ginagawa, sasabihin ngayon ng ating Panginoon sa pangitan ng kanyang salita, huwag mong gawin yan, so stop doing it. Okay, so yun ang mga traffic rules sa ating buhay. And of course, sabi nga ng banal na kasulatan, oh, that my ways were directed to keep your statutes. Okay, so tulad ni King David, nawang ating panalangin ay ang mga salita at mga batas at utos ng ating Panginoon ang nawa ang siyang maggagabay sa ating pamumuhay. So moving on, where traffic management is applied, or saan nga ba ina-apply ang traffic management? Okay, so again, traffic management is the activity or any activity conducted by any transportation agency that is designed, such activity is designed to improve the efficiency of the highway, the safety of the highway, and the convenience of the highway. So, or traffic management can be the simple application of the principles of management to traffic affairs. Okay, so where do we apply that? Are we going to apply that doon sa kalsada within the compound ng isang private. Of course, they have their own traffic management kapag malaki yung compound. But basically, pag sinabi natin traffic management, it is applied doon sa mga highways, sa mga traffic ways o roads, sa mga roadways and intersection. Sir, hindi ba parehas ang highway, traffic way, roads, roadway? No. Of course, may pagkakaiba niyan. That's why iyon ang magiging topic natin sa ating video na ito. And of course, ang pinakamarami kung saan in-apply ang traffic management is doon sa intersections. Okay, so ano nga ba ang highways? Highways, these are every public thoroughfare. Yan. So lahat na mga pampublikong kalsada. Whether that is a public boulevard, driveway, avenue, park, alley, and callejón, but shall not include roadway upon grounds owned by private persons, colleges, universities, or other similar institutions. So, sabi niya na lahat ng pampublikong kalsada, malawak man, masikip man na kalsada ito, as long as ito ay nakadesign para sa mga taong bayan or para sa mga publiko. So, hindi kasama yung mga nandoon sa loob ng mga private compound. So, that is the definition given by Republic Act 4136. Sir, hindi ba ang highway ay ito yung lugar kung saan mabibilis ang mga sasakyan? Yes, that's actually we call it the literal definition, kaya nga highway, no? Ito yung mga kung saan nakadesign ito sa mga high-speed driving. But of course, under the Republic Act 4136, basta ang kalsada ay pampubliko, ang tawag natin diyan ay highway. Okay, so yan, no? So makita natin dito, lahat yan ay highway. Basta lahat yan ay itong pinaka-main thoroughfare, if this is expressway, at saka itong mga tinatawag natin mga bypass roads or mga connecting roads like that, as long as they are designed for public thoroughfares, then that is called highway. Okay, so roadway on the other hand, okay, so according to the United Nations Vienna Convention on Road Transportation in 1968, they define roadway as part of the traffic way over which motor vehicles pass, also known as the carriageway. So, ang sinasabi niyan ng ating United Nations, ang kalsada or ang roadway ay yung lamang porsyon ito. Okay? So, assuming yung portion na yan, kung yan yung naka-assign para sa mga sasakyan, then that is the roadway. So, it is not included itong side na ito. Okay? So, moving on, this is your tinatawag natin na roadway. Okay? Or carriageway, ang tawag nila sa ibang mga bansa. Like in Britain, in the United Kingdom. So, itong portion lang dinadaanan ng sakyan yun yung tinatawag na roadway or tinatawag na carriageway. On the other hand, when you say traffic way, the entire width, so take note, the entire width between boundary lines. So what is that boundary lines? The boundary line between the public property and or the public way and the private properties. Okay? Of every way or place of which any part, take note, any part is open to the use of the public for purposes of vehicular traffic as a matter of right or customs. So that is synonymous to the word public way. Kaya pag sinabi mong public way at sinabi mong traffic way, okay, that is, they are synonymous with one another. Okay, so sinasabi nito na yung interwidth, no, ng yung pangkalahatan, ano, mula sa pinaka-boundary ng public way, public property at saka yung private property na tinatawag natin ang purpose niyan ay para sa vehicular traffic. Now, sir, hindi ba yan parihas sa highway? More or less, medyo may pagkahawig sila sa definition. But of course, the highway is specifically defined by Republic Act 4136. Okay. So, the traffic way, therefore, is also known as the road. Kasi ang sinasabi ng traffic way ay ito lamang, ang sinasabi ng traffic way ay yung kabuuan nito. Okay, yung kabuuan, that is the traffic way. Ito yung kabuuan niyan hanggang doon sa gilid niya, that is the traffic way. At ang tawag din ay road. Sir, hindi ba yung roadway? Ang roadway ay ito lamang kung saan yung portion na dumadaan yung mga sasakyan. Yun lamang ang roadway. Okay, samantalang ang road, yung traffic way mismo, yung natawag natin na kabuuan nito. So, according to the United Nations Vienna Convention on the on road transportation in 1968, the entire surface of any street open to the public traffic. Take note, open to the public traffic. It includes the shoulder and the sidewalk. Okay? So, ito yan, ano? So, yung entire width niyan, tinatawag natin yan na traffic way. Okay? So, tinatawag natin yan, kapag pampubliko yan, tinatawag natin na public way. Okay? So, kasi ang traffic way, kung i-compare natin yan sa highway, ang highway ay specific yan para sa public transportation. Samantalang ang traffic way, maaari nating include yung mga nandun sa mga private compounds. Pwedeng tawaging traffic way mga yon. Okay? Although, in the mindset of the United Nations, yun ay kinoconsider natin na public way. So, kasama yung roadway na yan at yung shoulder, okay? Yan. Okay, so kasama yan. So, the property boundary line, assuming ito na yung mga, sa portion na ito na yung private, then ito na yung public way. Yan. So further, sa gilid ng kalsada, we need to, we call it in traffic management, we need also to be familiarized with the portion of the traffic way kasi dyan natin ay na-apply ang traffic management. So yung mga bato na sunod-sunod sa gilid ng kalsada, you call them curbstone. Pag sinabing curved, ibig sabihin yan ay edge or sa gilid. So the usual elevated pavement that is designed for, we call it pedestrians is called your sidewalk. Sometimes you call that as the catwalk or the pedestrian walk. Then, moving on further, this is the curve of the highway. Okay, ito yung elevated portion dun sa gilid between the roadway and the shoulder or the sidewalk. Okay, so any markings dun sa gilid ng kalsada, just like this one, is called the curb markings. Lahat ng mga markings sa gilid ng kalsada, you call them curb marking. So, on the other hand, if between the roadway pavement, okay, and the curb of the highway or the edge of the highway or the edge of the sidewalk, kapag merong daluyan ng tubig doon, you call that gutter. Okay? So, pag mas malalim, siyempre kanal ang tawag dyan. Now, moving on further, what about arterial highways or roads? Arterial. These are high-capacity urban roads, urbanized roads, that direct traffic from collector roads to the expressway or freeways. Okay, take note, mga high-capacity urban roads. So, sa mga sentro yan. Ngayon, dinadirect niya yung traffic na nagmumula sa collector roads. Collector roads. Pag sinabing collector roads, yan yung mga kalsada na say for example, yung mga kalsada sa barangay, magsasalubong sila sa may pinaka-main municipal road or main municipal road. Tapos yung main municipal road na yan, yun naman ang papasok sa expressway or freeway. So yung municipal road na yan, then tatawagin natin yan na arterial highway or arterial roads. Just like dito sa ating veins, no, sa ating katawan, yung veins natin maliliit, yung artery natin malalaki. Yun yung mga malaking dinadaluyan ng mga dugo. Parang ganun lang yan. So yung mga mas malaking kalsada na yan ay papasok sa mga expressway, tinatawag natin mga arterial highways. Or not necessarily an expressway or papasok siya sa main highway, then arterial highway yung mga galing sa labas. Okay, na yun ang mga pinupuntahan ng lahat ng mga barangay roads insofar as the Philippines is concerned. So it may refer also to a highway that is used primarily through traffic. So just like in this image, this is the expressway. Ito yung pinaka-expressway. So this is the expressway. So ito ngayon yung pinaka-municipal road, Saragusa Road. Ayan. So ito, mapapansin natin may mga maliliit na kalsada rito sa gilid. Okay? So lahat yan, mag-iipon yan papasok doon sa expressway. Ito yung tinatawag natin na Tarlac, Nueva Ecija, no? Or the Central Luzon Expressway na tinatawag natin. Then, moving on, what about the collector highway? So also known as collector road or distributor road, which connects low to moderate, take note, the low to moderate highways. Okay? So kanina ay kapag sinabi nating arterial, medyo high capacity. Ito naman mula sa low to moderate highways or roads to arterial highways. Okay? So assuming may mga sitio, tapos may barangay road. Yung mga sitio, lulusot sila sa may barangay road. Tapos yung barangay road ang magsisilbi na collector highway, papasok doon sa arterial highway. Okay? So yun ang idea nun. Assuming ito yung ating kalsada, okay? Ito yung mga main thoroughfares natin. Okay? So pansinin natin, okay, ito yung tawag natin yung galing siya dito sa may rural na kalsada, no? So papasok siya doon sa main, sa mas malaking kalsada, or papasok siya sa isang kalsada, you call that collector. So collector, i-collect niya, no? Tapos pagpalabas naman na yan, dito ang tawag diyan ay distributor road ang tawag. Pagpapasok, ang tawag natin ay collector. Yung palabas sa mga main thoroughfare, ang tawag natin ay distributor roads ang tawag natin. So moving on, what about the Philippines? How do they classify roads according to the Department of Public Works and Highways? Again, roads are classified for purposes of identifying also the responsibility of maintaining the said roads or the said highway. So we have what you call the national primary roads, you have the national secondary roads, you have the national tertiary roads, you have the provincial roads or the local roads, you have the municipal and city roads or also known as local roads, then you have the barangay roads, and of course you have the expressways, okay? And you have some bypasses. So ito yung mga classification. At sino yung mga magbi-maintain dyan? Sino ang magre-repair niyan kapag nasira niyan? Or kapag pinagawa yan? So basically, kapag yan ay mga national ang significance niyan, whether that is provincial or city or municipality, as long as that is national ang significance, then DPWH ang papasok dyan na tutulong in coordination with the regional and provincial and city or district offices ng DPWH. So ano nga ba yung mga national primary roads natin? So national primary roads, these are the roads that directly connects, okay? So it directly connects major cities, at least 100,000 people. Say, kapag ang San Jose, yan ay may 100,000 na tao niyan, tapos magkukonek yan sa, assuming sa City of Muñoz, assuming, yan, at mayroong 100,000 yan, so yung nagkukonek yan, so ang tawag natin yan ay national primary. Okay? Except of course yung mga cities within metropolitan areas kasi yan ay tinatawag natin talagang marami naman population doon. Okay? So ngayon, sa NCR kasi may mga barangay pa na umaabot ng 50,000 to 150,000 yung kanilang population doon. Pero barangay road lang sa kanila. Kaya exemption sila doon sa classification. Say San Jose City sa Cabanatuan City, yung yung direct na nagko-connect diyan, okay? Ang tawag natin diyan ay national primary because both of the cities I believe okay, are composed of more than 100,000 people population each. So what about the national secondary? So directly connects cities to national primary. So yung mga city, papasok siya sa mga national primary. Again, except metropolitan area. And those directly connects the major ports and ferry terminals to the national primary roads. and directly connects major airports to national primary roads, yung mga national secondary. So speaking of Nueva Ecija, so pwede nating sabihin na yung mga galing ng interior na mga cities or tinatawag natin na ayan, kung may mga cities pa sa surrounding yan, tapos papasok ka dun sa primary na yung ating Maharlika Road, then that is called your national secondary. Yung papasok or magko-connect doon sa primary roads natin, galing sa isang city or galing sa isang major na municipality or major area. Okay, what about the further? What are the other national secondary? So ito, directly connects tourist service centers to national primary roads. Say for example, okay, may mga tourist spots na talagang sikat naman na tourist spots yan at diyan ay mga dayuhin yan. So yung pinaka main thoroughfare na papunta doon na manggagaling sa national primary, ang tawag natin yan ay national secondary or directly connect cities not included in the categories of the major cities. Ayan, so city to city. Then directly connects provincial capitals to the same region. Okay, say for example, ang capital ng Bulacan, capital ng Nueva Ecija, yung kalsada na nagdudugtong noon between those two capitals ng dalawang probinsya na yan, or Nueva Ecija and Pampanga, like that. Okay, yan ang tinatawag natin na national secondary. So what else sa national secondary natin? It directly connects major national government infrastructure to national primary. Ano yung mga national government infrastructure natin? Say for example, mayroong dam, Pantabangan Dam, di ba? Papunta yan doon sa national primary. Yung nagdudugtong na yon sa Pantabangan Dam hanggang papunta doon sa pinaka main primary ay ang tawag diyan ay national secondary or roads or other national secondary roads. So say for example, okay, so this is Cabanatuan City. Yan. So in this area, the Cabanatuan City. Okay, so I think this is the main the primary highway. Ito yan yung Maharlika Highway or the Asian Highway 26. Ito yan. Ito yung national primary. Okay? Ito yung secondary. Yan, secondary na yan. Okay? Yan, Nueva Ecija to Aurora. That is national secondary. So this is your national primary. Kung sa kabila naman yung number 1 sa MacArthur Highway, no? Number 1 highway mula doon sa number 2 mula doon sa Lawag papunta ng EDSA. And moving on, the national tertiary, other existing roads under DPWH which perform a local function. So, maaring local function siya, pero siya ay under ng DPWH. Okay? So, yung mga nandito sa loob ng mga kalsada, okay? So, this is your Cabanatuan Mega Shell. So, okay, ito yung mga kalsada na ito, yan. Okay, padugtong sa kabila. Then, yan ay tinatawag natin mga national tertiary. Ayan. So, kapag yan ay nagdudugtong sa isang city pa doon sa kabila, then that will become national secondary. Pero kapag dinudugtong lang niya yung munisipyo, okay, or yung pinakasentro ng munisipyo, at yung kalsada na yan ay under DPWS, then that can be considered as national tertiary. Then moving on, what about the provincial roads connecting cities and municipalities within the, okay, within or without traversing national roads? Hindi ito dadaan sa national roads. Okay? So pag yung nag-connect ng city at saka municipality ay national roads, then magiging national road yon. Pero kapag yung nag-connect ng city sa municipality, hindi yung national road, then that is called provincial roads. So connecting national roads to barangays, to rural areas. So ito yung national road, tapos kukonek ka niya sa mga barangays, papasok sa mga barangay, then that is called a provincial road na yon. So connecting major provincial government infrastructures. Again, kapag nandun sa probinsya yung mga major infrastructure na yan, say for example, yan ay pagawaan ng simento na malalaki, no? Mga governmental, mga provincial governmental infrastructure niyan. Okay, for example, national irrigation dam, no? Mga ganon, okay? Then, moving on, ito yung example natin, no? So, this is the Carmen Cabanatuan. So, the Carmen Cabanatuan Road. Ayan. So, ito yung Carmen Cabanatuan Road. Ayan. So, this is an example of, we call it, national secondary yan. Okay? Kasi galing yan sa may area ng Carmen, okay, papunta doon sa, kasi Carmen is another province yan. That is Pangasinan, ito na yung Nueva Ecija. Ayan, so Nueva Ecija na yan. So, ito magiging national secondary roads yan. Okay? So, ito naman yung, I think itong Felipe Vergara Highway. Ayan. So, this is also a magiging national secondary ito. Or depende kung saan dudugtong yan, magiging national tertiary. Ayan. So, what else? So, this is your Carmen Cabanatuan. Ayan. So, pwede rin ito na tawag natin to magiging provincial roads din yan. Okay? So, ito, yung isa dito ay national secondary. So, depende nga ito, no? Pwede itong maging national tertiary. Now, moving on further. Okay, the municipal and city roads and local roads. So, kapag within the poblasyon lamang yan, or yan ay barangays within the poblasyon or roads connecting to provincial and national roads. Okay, so yung kalsada galing sa munisipyo papunta sa provincial road or papunta sa national road, ang tawag pa rin natin yan ay either municipal or city roads. Depende kung yan ay city or munisipyo. Roads that provide inter-barangay connections to major municipal roads. Okay? These are still considered as municipal or city roads. Kung yan ay nasa loob ng city. Or city infrastructure without traversing provincial roads. Hindi ka lulusot or hindi ka dadaan sa provincial road. So, if that is within the city, then we call that city roads. If that is within the municipal, then that is called municipal roads. Okay, so let's take a look, an example on this one. Okay, so this is number 58. Ayan. So, this is the Saragossa, no? So, kapag ito ay national roads ito, yan, national roads yan. So, ito, Saragossa, I don't know, I could not read that. Okay, San Antonio Road. Ito, yan ay magiging provincial roads yan. Okay, magiging provincial roads. Okay, ngayon, depende pa rin ito kung ano yung significance ito. Pwede siya maging national, secondary, or national tertiary. Okay, pero pag ito ay hanggang lang sa ito, hanggang sa isang munisipyo lang yan, hindi na yan lusot sa isang national highway, then ito ay magiging provincial roads lang. Mga ito, mga municipal roads na mga ito, within the municipality. Mga municipal roads na lang mga yan. Okay? So, moving on further, what about the barangay roads? Well, these are any other public roads officially turned over within the barangay and not covered in the previous definitions of roads. So, mga dun lang sa loob ng barangay. Ayan. So, naka-assign na sa barangay yan. Kaya minsan, sir, bakit kaya hindi pa nasisimento? Dalawang pwedeng dahilan yan. Unang dahilan, mahina si barangay captain. O kaya kurakot si barangay captain. Pangalawang dahilan, malamang kukunti lang population dyan. Kaya hinahayaan na kayo ni gobernur, no? Kasi kulang naman yung mga butante dyan. Okay? Yan. So, moving on further, what about the expressways? These are highways with limited access, meaning kukunti lang yung papasok. Kasi nga, expressway. Pag sabi kasi express, ang connotation ng express kasi ay hindi tumitigil. Hindi yan titigil ang expressway. So, no stopping anytime. Kaya limited yung access niya. Normally, may mga interchanges na lang yan. Okay? Pag sinabing interchanges, ito yung mga tawag natin na papasok or palabas, yung mga collector or distributor roads. Okay, may include facilities for levying tolls for passage, no, in an open or closed system. So what are these? You have the Central Luzon Link. Okay, I think that is a Tarlac Nueva Ecija Expressway. You have the Cavitex or the Manila-Cavite Expressway. You have the MCX, the Muntinlupa-Cavite Expressway. The NAIA Expressway, the NAIAX. You have the NLEX, okay? And then you have the North Luzon Expressway, the NLEX. Iba kasing NLEX Harbor Link. Ito yung NLEX Harbor Link. Ito yung nakadikit ito sa NLEX, yung lulusan ng NLEX, papunta siya sa South Harbor saka sa North Harbor. Okay? Doon sa barko. Then you have the North Luzon Expressway. Yan yung mula yan sa Balintawak hanggang doon na sa area ng Dao. Then you have the Metro Manila Skyways. And then you have the South Luzon Expressway. What else? You have the Star, okay, Expressways. Okay? The Southern Tagalog Artelia Roads ang tawag natin diyan. Then you have the Subic Freeport Expressway sa loob ng Subic yan, meron yan. Iba yung SCTEX mula sa Dao papunta ng papunta yan ng the Subic Clark, okay, expressway na tinatawag natin. And then you have the TIPLEX, your Tarlac Pangasinan Expressway. Ayan ganyan La Union, okay? Tarlac Pangasinan La Union. So nakadugtong na yan hanggang sa may area ng Rosario La Union. So moving on further, bypasses. Yan. So isa rin ito, kailangan din ng tawag natin ng traffic management sa mga area. Ngayon, kapag yung mga main thoroughfares at dadaan yan sa mga sentro ng mga munisipyo or sentro ng mga city at highly populated yung area, so magkakaroon ngayon ng tinatawag na bypass roads. So para hindi na siya lulusot sa tawag natin, hindi na siya lulusot sa sentro. So for example, in this particular image, ito yung primary, national primary. Ayan. Tapos, assuming ito ay may intersection diyan, ayan, so ito, tapos kapag ito, dati wala pang kalsada rito, ngayon yung mga sakyan dito, pag dumaan doon, so ma-traffic sa area na ito, tapos pupunta lang pala sila doon, so ang ginawa, nagkaroon ng Santa Rosa Bypass Roads. Yan. So anything, marami na tayong mga bypass roads ngayon. So kailangan ng traffic management in those areas para magkaroon ng efficient movement of travelers. Okay? Yan. So what else? Yan. Then moving on further, ano naman yung mga minimum width ng national roads natin? Okay? So as early as 1948, meron na tayo Executive Order 180. Ang national roads dapat yan ay 20 meters. Okay? So imagine 20 meters. Ayan. Kapag yan ay provincial roads, at least 15 meters ang minimum niyan. Ibig sabihin ng minimum, pwedeng mas malawak yan. And then the municipal and city roads at least 10 meters. So take note, minimum yan. Okay? So ngayon, as early as early 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, nakategorize na lahat yung mga kalsada, whether that is national, provincial, or city or municipal roads. Kaya kapag yan ay nag-widening, wala kang magagawa kasi matagal nang designated dyan na national highway, whether that is primary, secondary, or tertiary. So, pag tinamaan yung building mo, yung bahay mo, wala kang magawa niyan kasi matagal na naka-assign yan. Now, moving on further, under Executive Order 113, okay, series of 1955, meron na. So, ganun pa rin, 20, 15, okay, and 10 meters. Now, moving on further, sa ating Executive Order 621 of 1965. So, nasa 1965 tayo. National road shall have a right-of-way of not less than, take note, not less than, minimum 20 meters, provided that such minimum width may be reduced. Sabi niya, pwedeng mabawasan pa at the discretion of the Secretary of Public Highways, dati minister. Pwede siyang bababa ng 15 meters in highly urbanized areas, meaning masyadong density, masyado ng marami yung population doon at mga building doon, commercial areas doon. So, pwede siyang bababa ng 15 meters yung width. And the right-of-way of at least 60 meters shall be reserved for roads constructed through unpatented public land. So, Pag sinabing unpatented public land, wala pang nag-apply dyan. So, pwedeng maging 60 meters yung lawak niya na right of way doon sa papasok sa mga urbanized areas. And at least 120 meters reserved for true naturally forested areas, aesthetic or scientific value. Okay? So, yan ay pag may mga naturally forested areas yung lugar na yan, papasok dyan. So, 120 meters yan ay talagang may right of way ang national road doon. Okay? Kaya makita nyo maraming tawag natin maraming natatanggal na mga buildings, may structures kasi naka-reserve na yung mga lugar na yan, naka-specify na yan as early as 1960s, 1940s, 1950s. So, ngayon class, mayroon tayong mga nakita mga road widening, ano? Kasi ang road widening, yan ay sasagutin yan yung tinatawag nating physical inadequacy. Ito yung pag-implement na dun sa mga categories ng ating kalsada. So take note, National Highway, yan, 15 meters, di ba? Dapat 20 meters yan, di ba? So 20 meters, so supposedly kapag 20 meters yan, then therefore dapat 10 meters from the center of the road. Di ba? Towards left and right. Mula sa sentro, dapat yan 10 meters. Pero sabi nga na pwedeng tataas or bababa yan. Okay? So ngayon, um, yan ay nasa tinatawag natin, sabi nga, at least 20 meters. Okay? So, therefore, pwede siyang hanggang maging 30 meters. So, 15 meters mula sa gitna hanggang sa gilid. Sa mga provincial roads, okay? So, and the city roads, we learn na to ay 15 meters yung total width nito. So, hanggang sa gitna, yan ay 7.5 meters. Municipal road, okay? So, yan ay 10 meters dapat yan. Pero, at least ang ibig sabihin yan, ibig sabihin minimum yan. So, pwedeng 6 meters from the center. Then the barangay road, yan. So, ang barangay road, dapat yan mga 5 meters lang. Pero actually, okay, yan ay 10 meters ang barangay road natin. So, from 5 meters from the center of the road towards the left and right. Okay? Kaya ngayon, na-observe nyo kapag ongoing yung mga widening, wala kang magawa. Kasi matagal ng tawag natin, matagal ng mga identified yan, mga national roads, provincial, municipal, city, and barangay roads. So, binahayan mo yan, mga walang tawag natin, unpatented public lands yan. So, yan ay binahayan mo, wala kang magawa yan kasi right of way ng national roads yan. So, kailangan mong tanggalin yung bahay mo. So, yun ang makikita natin na marami nagko-complain but without them knowing it na matagal nang nakadesignate ang mga yan. Well, probably ang nagkulang dyan yung mga local city and municipal administrators natin, hindi nila nakita na ang mga yon ay matagal nang nakategorize na mga national, provincial, or city or municipal roads or barangay roads. So, kailangan masunod yung width nito. Then, moving on, ano naman yung tinatawag na true highway? True, ibig sabihin, dire-diretso. So, lahat ng highway or yung portion ng highway kung saan ang vehicular traffic is nabibigyan ng right of way kasi kailangan niyang no stopping anytime. Okay? At sa mga entrances nito, lahat ng mga papasok doon, they are required by law to yield the right of way. Yan. So, in obedience to either an authorized stop sign or a yield sign or other official traffic control devices. So, yan. So, tinatawag din siyang true way or true way. Yan. So, pinagsama na yan. A highway that has limited entrances. So, yun, sinasabi ko na, yung expressway, freeways, or motorways, known as autobahn. Okay? So, basta yung kalsada na yan, ay kailangan dire-diretso sila. Okay? Sila yung mayroong right of way. So, tinatawag sa English na either expressway or freeways or motorways. Ang tawag sa Germany ay Autobahn. Ang tawag sa Italian-speaking countries ay Autostrada. So, tuloy-tuloy lang sila. Hindi sila pwedeng mag-stop anytime unless, of course, may mga ibang emergency sa area. Now, moving on further. So, yan. Ito yung true way. Kailangan yan, dire-diretso sila. That is true way. Ayan. So, ngayon, yung papasok dito, kailangan niyang mag-give way. Kailangan niyang huminto. Yan, kapag wala nang dumadaan sa true way, saka lang siya papasok. Hindi pwedeng dahan-dahan ka papasok pag may parating. Kailangan hintayin mo na clear itong kalsada bago ka pumasok. Kaya nga true way yan. So sila yung merong right of way. Ayan. So, moving on further, so that is your true highway or true way. So, pwedeng multiple expressway yan or hindi multiple expressway. Basta sila yung merong tinatawag natin expected na mga dapat tuloy-tuloy. Parang yung mga highways natin. Mga true ways pa rin yun. Okay? Then, moving on, the intersection. Ito ngayon yung pinaka most common area where traffic management is applied. Kasi dito, mas marami ang nagkakaroon ng problema. Okay, so what is intersection? The area within which vehicles traveling upon different highways joining at any angle. So ano mang angle yan, whether perpendicular or oblique angle, okay? Basta nag-join yung dalawang highway from different directions at mag-criss-cross sila, yung inoccupy nila together is called intersection. Other name for that ay yung crossroads, junctions, or crossings. So the area created when two or more roadways join together at any areas is called your intersection. So dyan ang pinaka most common na kinakailangan ng traffic management because motor vehicles will be jockeying for positions on those areas. Now moving on, the four-way or four-stop intersection. Ano nga ba yung mga klase ng intersection? Unang-una, yung four-way or four-stop. So, ito yung pinaka-most common type of intersection. Pinaka-most common, pinakamarami yan. So, pwede siyang perpendicular, okay? Yung pag sinabing perpendicular, that is 90 degrees, or skewed. Yan, angular siya. Yan, intersection. So, this is your four-way. Bakit four-way yan? One, okay, so this is one, this is two-way, that is three, and that is 4. Okay, so tinatawag na four-way. So, pwede rin siyang tawaging four-stop. Bakit four-stop ang tawag? Kasi the line here is called stop line. Stop line ang tawag natin dyan. So, stop line ang tawag natin. Ayan. So, kaya tinatawag na four-stop intersection. Automatic yan, kailangan mo mag-stop. Ang in-apply dyan is first come, first to go. Meaning, sino yung unang nakarating, siya ang unang papasok or magko-cross intersection. So this one, since obviously nandun na siya ang unang nag-stop. So ito parating pa lang. So whether he like it or not, kailangan niya mag-stop. Kahit nakita niya na naka-stop ito, okay? Naka-stop ito, kailangan mo pa ring mag-stop pag galing ka rito. Ayan. Kasi siya yung my priority to cross. So that is applied properly dun sa loob ng Subic Pre-Fort. Then moving on, ito naman yung tinatawag na three-way or three-stop. Ganun pa rin. Kaya tinatawag na three-way kasi tatlo yung pinanggagalingan ng direksyon ng kalsada. Tapos, pag sinabing three-stop, yung white crossing bar doon sa harapan before the intersection is called your stop line. Ayan, okay? Those are your stop line. So, the space sa gitna, yun ang tinatawag nating intersection. Ito naman, tinatawag natin tong Y intersection naman tawag natin. Parang letter Y siya. Then moving on further, ito yung skewed. Kaya tinawag yan na skewed kasi hindi siya perpendicular, hindi siya 90 degrees. Ayan. So moving on further, ito naman yung 5-stop. Pero ito mga very rare na yan, no? 5-stop intersection. So the 6-stop, marami rin yan, lalo pag yung mga doon sa lubungan ng mga maraming kalsada or national roads. Okay? So normally, nagkakaroon ng 6-stop intersection. Minsan dyan, ginagawa na lang dyan, nilalagyan ng rotary island sa gitna. So moving on further, you have the 6 or the 8-way or the 8-stop intersection. So kapag 4-lane ito, 4-lane yan, so nakita natin 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 lane. So magiging times 2 yan. So magiging 8-way or 8-stop. Kasi nga ito kasi kaya 8-way yan, pwedeng didiretso yan or pag ganun yan. Ito naman, pwedeng dumiretso yan or papunta rito yan. So ganun, kaya tinatawag na 8-way or 8-stop intersection. Now moving on further, ito naman yung mga controlled intersection. Pag sinabi mong controlled intersection, so mayroong mga may mga traffic lights. Yan, may mga traffic signal lights. Okay? At mayroong mga stop lines. Okay? Yan. may mga traffic signal light, may stop light, at may mga traffic officer sa gitna, probably, so controlled intersection tawag doon. Meron bang uncontrolled? Yes, merong uncontrolled. Pag sinabing Y controlled naman, or yung Y means yung yield. Okay, yield. Ibig sabihin yan, sino yung ito. So, pag may yield diyan, may yield doon, ibig sabihin, ito yung, sila yung mayroong right of way, yung dito. Yan. Silang may right of way. So, ito mga vehicles ito, yung dalawang blue, kailangan nilang yield yung right of way dito. Yan. Now, moving on further, stop controlled. Pag sinabing stop controlled naman, hindi yield ang nagko-control. Okay? Stop naman. Mandatory stop naman tinatawag noon. Okay? So, almost the same sa yield, no? Yan. Pero ito, kailangan to na mag-stop. Yung kasing yield kanina, pwedeng mag-slow down, pwedeng pumasok basta libre. Ito kasi, with or without sasakyan na makita mo, mandatory stop yan. Samantalang yung yield, mag-stop ka, pag nakita mong libre, pwede kang dumiritso. Ito naman, pag kailangan mag-stop, siguraduhin mo muna na talagang libre bago ka papasok sa intersection. Okay, so you have also the rotary controlled intersection or the traffic circle na tinatawag natin. Yan. So take note, ilang way yan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ways, no? So mahirap yan i-direct yung traffic, lalo kapag odd numbered, no? Mahirap i-direct yung traffic niyan. 6 yan. So, ang magdadirect na lang yan is yung tinatawag nating rotonda. Kaya tawag diyan ay traffic circle controlled intersection. Okay, so mayroong uncontrolled. Pag sinabing uncontrolled, walang nakalagay na linya. Okay, walang nakalagay na stop sign doon sa lahat. Stop line, wala. Wala ka rin makikitang traffic light, wala ka rin makikitang traffic sign. So dito, ano ang rules dito? Ang rules dito ay yung tinatawag natin kung sino yung galing sa kanan, siya yung uunang papasok. Yan. Say for example, between these two motor vehicles, ito, saka ito. Okay, ito, dapat ito ay mag-stop ito. Kasi ito, galing siya sa kanan ito. Yan, so siya maunang papasok. So yun ang uncontrolled intersection. Wala kang makikitang mga linya doon or wala kang traffic sign, pavement markings or whatsoever doon. Ang mangyayari lang doon is yung sino yung galing sa kanan, siya yung papasok. Yung tinatawag nating right of way rules natin. So which will be discussed further later on in the traffic laws. Now, moving on further, meron tinatawag na box jacks junction intersection. Ano yon? Generally prohibits entry unless the exit is clear. Yan. So, huwag kang papasok. Yan. Pag may daming box na ganyan sa gitna, ibig sabihin, kailangan mag-stop. Okay, pag talagang clear na yung tawag natin mga exit or mag-crossing dyan, saka ka lang papasok yan. Okay, so yun ang mga application ng ating traffic management. Doon kung saan magkakaroon ng intersection, doon sa mga main thoroughfares, okay, kung saan may high capacity, okay, urbanized places, doon yung mga normally na-apply ang traffic management. Sa mga traffic, mga barangays, basically, walang masyado, okay, na ina-apply na traffic management doon. Kung saan magkakaroon ng traffic congestion, kung saan basically magkakaroon ng gridlock, kung saan magkakaroon ng mga traffic jam, bottleneck, normally doon ina-apply ang traffic management. But of course, all throughout, no, lahat ng public thoroughfare, ina-apply pa rin dyan ang traffic management. But of course, the most application or the areas where they are, we call it the concentration traffic management are observed are in places where pwede magkaroon ng mga traffic problems. Particularly problems on traffic congestion and traffic jam and gridlock. So, we have also the last type of intersection, tawag natin yan ay cloverleaf. The cloverleaf, instead na mag-criss-cross yung mga sasakyan dito, so meron na lang tawag natin akyat. Ayan. Okay, papunta doon. So, parang hindi sila mag-criss-cross dito. So that ito, tuloy-tuloy lang sila yung mga going straight, tuloy-tuloy yung mga going straight. Okay? Ayan. So yung pinakagilid nun, throughway pa rin yon. Kaya yung mga papasok diyan, mag-give way sila. Okay? So ganun ang rulings niyan. So binawasan yung criss-crossing lang yan. Okay? But still, iniwasan yung intersection. Kasi sa intersection yan, sigurado, if that is uncontrolled, very seldom na may mag-observe niyan ng right of way rules. And of course, with that, if you have not yet subscribed my channel, so please hit the subscribe button. Should you have any question or comment, feel free to write it down in the comment section. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and God bless us all.